We're back. I'm back. Kinda, not really, sorta, no. Oh, well, I'm back in Vanessa. I got Vanessa back. That's nice. All right, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. This is cool, I guess. Sorta. if you if you follow me on Instagram, then what I'm about to tell you isn't new. But oh well. So I got Vanessa back on Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, which was great. And so, the repair job was amazing, right? The door got replaced, the right fender got replaced, so that's cool. She looked like new, or at least the door and the fender looked like new, which is cool. It's an aesthetic improvement for sure. And so I check on the inside of Vanessa, look her over, everything is fine. I walk around her, just see if I can see anything. Everything looks okay, cool. I go to turn her on, to drive off, and she kicks on fine. Everything's good. I'm like, all right, cool. And I go to accelerate to start to leave, and she struggles a little bit. She struggles, and so I was just like, oh, okay, like this is a little hard. Like she's having some trouble like taking off. And so I start driving and she gets up to speed and everything seems to be okay. So I was like, all right, cool. Maybe it's just the fact that I'd been driving a rental car for like the last 3 weeks, almost a month, that I forgot how she felt to drive, right? Like driving a newer car, a smaller, like, economy car, completely different feeling and experience from driving, big work van. So I was like, maybe over that 3 weeks, I just got used to that, right? I got used to like a very smooth, easy takeoff, and I just forgot, what Vanessa felt like when she took off. And so I was like, okay, cool. Get home, everything's fine. All right, no worries. I park her, and then that's it. Come Friday, I get up early because I'm like, I got a lot of work to do. I gotta clean the inside of Vanessa because there was dust and dirt all over, like all the furniture and stuff. There's dust on the walls and whatnot. Just from her being in the shop for like almost 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks roughly. And so, I mean, during that time, they take off the door, they're checking stuff. The doors are open, dust gets in because a door isn't on because they're painting the door and the fender, like whatever it is that they did, I imagine the doors were open for a time period in a mechanic shop that had dust, right? So there's dust all over the inside, whatever, so I spent part of Thursday, like, cleaning all my sheets and everything and all my blankets and all the pillowcases and stuff that I've got. And then Friday, I wiped down everything. Like, yeah, I did a pretty good detail, honestly. I cleaned everything up front. I cleaned the dashboard. I cleaned the what is it called? I don't know what you call it, but the center console. I cleaned the wheel. I cleaned underneath the seat. I cleaned the flooring in front of the driver, in front of the passenger, in between the two. I cleaned off my mats. I cleaned all the top of the ceiling. I wiped it all down. I wiped down all the walls, everything. Cleaned the floor. Cleaned behind the fridge that'd been dirty for months because just stuff gets accumulated back there, hair, dust, little chips of stuff, right? Just it all accumulates back there, and I just never bother with it because it's behind the fridge, and I have to take the fridge out, and the fridge was empty, so sorry, let's just take out the fridge, clean back there, so we can finally have that clean, and we're good. And I did all that, great. And after I got everything cleaned on Friday, I put all of my stuff back in. I did all my laundry, cleaned all my clothes, all my comforters, all the sheets and everything, cleaned all of that, brought all of that back in here, set it all aside, put everything away where it needed to go, put fresh sheets on my bed, put new pillowcases on my pillows and everything. I did all of that. Put everything that I took out and put it back in here because it's like, all right, I'm back. We're back in Vanessa. Great. Like let's get on with our life. Let's get on with doing comedy. Let's get on with hitting mics. Like let's get on with everything that I've been trying to do. Cool. Did all that. Wonderful. Friday, after I get all that done, I eat lunch, and then I get in Vanessa, kick her on, because I'm like, all right, we're dressed, heading to work. I had some training that I had to do for work that day, so I had to get there a little earlier. And I leave, and I get on the highway, and I'm driving on the highway for a better part of about 10, 15 minutes, and everything's fine. Until I don't know what's happening, but Vanessa's just not accelerating, you know? I'm cruising at 60 miles an hour, and then she just starts to go down. She goes down to like 58, 57, I'm thinking I accidentally hit the brake, right? Because sometimes I accidentally hit the brake. That disengages the cruise control. So then she starts to slow down. So I was like, all right, cool. So I just press the gas pedal. She starts to speed up a little bit. But then she kind of starts to sputter out. And so I keep pressing the gas, and she kind of keeps going, but then not wanting to go, but then kind of going, then not really wanting to go. And so here in Houston, there's this interchange between 45 South and 610. It's a big hill. I'm going up that hill, and I'm losing speed. And I just get up to the top when no matter how hard I'm pressing the gas pedal all the way down to the floor, she's not accelerating. And I'm just like, this isn't good. I get over that hill, thankfully, and then I just start going down. She starts speeding up some more because of the inertia, but I'm still pressing the gas pedal, and she's not moving at all. So at that point, I'm like, something's wrong. This isn't good, right? So I put my hazards on because I already knew something was up. So I was like, I need to pull over. And so I start hear more sputtering from the engine. And I'm like, that's not good. And so I start moving over into the shoulder. And as I'm moving over, and as we get towards the bottom, and I start, hitting the brakes a little bit, Vanessa just goes out. Like the engine just stops running. And so I was like, all right, there's something clearly very wrong, And so I just kind of like cruise down, and I'm hitting the brakes, and I slow down, and I'm stopped right there on the shoulder. And that's where I was. That's where I was yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted a few stories on there. I didn't even think about it, honestly. I called my dad first, told him where I was, and he came over. But between the time me calling him and then him coming over to tow me, I posted a few stories on Instagram kind of like talking about, the reality of living in a van. And that's that sometimes the van breaks down and you're stuck on the side of the road and you're kind of just there and there's not really much you can do. And so, if you saw that, cool. If you didn't, no worries. It's a different story, but there was something in there that I did say that I kind of like, I thought about a little bit afterward. That was like towards the end, which is that, one time someone asked me if living in a van has made me stronger, well, before I get into that, just a real quick aside, we did get the van back to my to my sister's place. So, I'm there. I'm not homeless or anything. It is frustrating that, it's another mechanical issue, another thing I have to fix. It's not the first one. It's not the first time Vanessa's broken down either. She is she is a 25-year-old vehicle. So parts are going to go bad. I knew that when I was buying her. My dad told me that as well. He's like, if it runs, that's great. But, it's an older vehicle, so things are going to go out, things are going to go bad. So if you're okay with that, like, all right, you can do it. but he says I'm young, right? I'm young. I have the energy. I have the time as well. I don't have any kids or any major responsibilities, so running into problems like this just affects me. And it is what it is. It is what it is. I knew that when I was signing up for this and doing all this. So everything with that is fine. In terms of what the actual issue is, few theories. I'm still reading on it and everything, but I may get into that later. The main thing I wanted to get into, though, was, like I was saying, someone one time asked me if living in a van has made me stronger. And it's one of those, like I said it in the Instagram story, it's just, I don't know if stronger is the word I would use. If you want to ask if it's made me stronger from the standpoint that I'm more capable in other situations that I otherwise wouldn't have had experience with, like a car breaking down, or like replacing mechanical parts on a vehicle, or having to do research to find out what the potential issue is, what the potential mechanical issue is for a vehicle. Yeah, you could say I'm stronger, right? I'm definitely building other skills. I'm definitely building some mechanical skills. I'm definitely working on Vanessa way more than I ever worked on my previous vehicle, my Malibu. That was my first car ever. This Vanessa is my second. And so, getting familiar with like brake pads and fuel pumps and alternators and ACs and just the common little issues that you run into with like an AC, and getting experience with those things. Honestly, I can see that being handy in the future. I can see it being handy in the future, so long as people are still driving cars. And if not for any other reason than from a personal growth standpoint, there definitely is something. There's something to be said about the experience gained from getting through something that was difficult, right? The first time Vanessa broke down, that was difficult. That was very stressful for sure. Because I was just trying to figure out what the issue is, and nothing was working. And then eventually I had to take it to a mechanic, and the mechanic told me what the problem was. And there you go. So, it's like this third time around, right? It's like, all right, she broke down. Okay. It is what it is. Thankfully I'm in Houston now, so I could take it to my sister's, and I got a place to stay, and I've got a bed to sleep on, and I have more social support here in Houston than I did in San Antonio. So that's a plus. It makes dealing with the mechanical issues all that much easier, right? My dad was able to come and tow me as well, right? I didn't have to spend money on a tow truck. I did get AAA though. So the next time Vanessa breaks down, like, I have a AAA service. So I'll be able to get a tow myself. But all that to say, like, yeah, stronger. Like, am I stronger now because I live in a van? And like I said, I don't know if stronger is the word I would use. The word I would use that I think is more applicable with living in a van is, I've definitely learned to be patient. Like, I'm much more patient now than I was before. 'Cause, like, figuratively and literally speaking, when you live in a van, you just don't have a lot of space. You don't have a lot of space. You really don't. You really, really don't. Like from this video, from this camera angle, like, you can see, like, I'd say probably 50% of the space I have available in Vanessa. And most of that is underneath the bed. Everything else in front of me is like furniture and stuff that I've built to I've made. Everything else in front of me is furniture that I have made for making access to the other things I readily need easier, right? So, like, my food, like my clothes, like the hamper with my dirty clothes, right? The water, the sink, other little storage compartments for other things that I have in here. It's all just easier to get to rather than having a bunch of boxes in here that I have to open up, right? And that convenience is what makes living in a van convenient, honestly. And when I got everything else built out, that convenience is a tangible impact on just how I live my life, because I can just get to things way easier now, right? So it's just me living my life instead of me trying to live my life while bumping heads with the lifestyle of living in a van, right? I got too philosophical there. My point is that I don't have a lot of space. I don't have a lot of space. I just don't. Literally and figuratively. Literally because most of my storage space is underneath the bed. Figuratively because when there's an issue with Vanessa, right? Like it stops my life, right? It really does. And I want her to be running well all the time, obviously. So when a mechanical issue comes up, or when something causes her to break down, whatever that is, whether it's a dead battery, or a fried solenoid, or a stopped up or jammed up AC compressor that won't let the engine kick on, or a starter that died, or in this case right now, a fuel pump that seems like it went out, my life gets put on hold, and it's lame. And it's like, it's lame because I'd rather be doing other things, obviously. And so the van is still working. The engine still runs. It's just, I need to get a new alternator to charge the battery, or I need to get new batteries, or I need to get my AC system replaced, or I need to get that solenoid replaced, or in this likely case, I need to get the fuel pump replaced. And once that gets replaced and once that gets fixed, Vanessa's running again and life is continuing on as normal. And I know that. So it's just a matter of being patient, right? Making sure I sit down and really do my homework. And I know what the actual issue is, and doing my homework and learning more about Vanessa and her parts and stuff, and what the problem could be, is informing me about, a vehicle, and what issues a vehicle can run into, and what problems I can fix, and what problems I'm willing to offload to a mechanic to fix, and just keep going from there. And once the problem gets fixed, then we're back on the road and life continues on as normal. And doing all of that takes patience. And this one required extra patience because, I didn't have Vanessa for almost a month, right? Because she was in the shop because, I got the door and the right fender replaced because I got hit, because I got in an accident, which was my fault. Right. Another reason, be patient at stop signs. Be patient at stop signs. So yeah, it's like, I have to be patient. Like, I have to be patient, getting worked up and getting irritated and, getting stressed out when I'm stuck on the side of the road and everything. When it happened and I was there on the side of the highway, my heart rate started to pick up, and I was just like, God dang it, dude, come on, dude, are you for real? Like, I didn't have Vanessa for 3.5 weeks. I finally get her back. I'm finally like, all right, let's go, let's do this. And then she breaks down the very next day, and now it's like, all right, I got her, but I don't really have her because she's not running now. So it's just like, really, dude, really? Come on, and it's frustrating because it's like, there's still other things I want to do on Vanessa, right? Like, I want to redo the weather seal on my rear right window because there's a leak back there. I want to change out this window right here for a pop-out window so I can get more air circulation in here at night in the summer, because that's the main thing that just sucks with the summer in the van, is that overnight it stays stuffy in here because of the insulation. Even though it's fine outside. Why? Because there's no air circulating in here. And, you know, I've tried some other things that kind of work, but they don't work. And I'm sure popping that window and having that outlet would just be amazing to help. So that's a thing. But all that to say, yeah, I want to change out that window. I want to replace the seal on the back. I want to retint all my windows. I want to replace the AC fan blower up front, because I'm pretty sure that one is going. It's not out, but it's definitely not as strong as it used to be. That's for sure. Like if I have it set to 1, it may as well be off, right? It blows so lightly that it's not. It's like it's not even on. So that fan blower could be replaced too. I had to replace a switch on the front for alternating where the air blows from, because the original one went out. You know, some of the bulbs behind the dash are going out. I bought new bulbs. I have them to change it out, but Vanessa was in the shop, right? So I couldn't do that. So it's like I have all these other things that I want to do, that I need to do, right? I don't even remember if I said it, but getting tint on all the windows. I want to retint all the windows, because retinting the windows with summer coming up would be great, because then that will also add an additional layer of insulation on Vanessa, because the tint is starting to come off on some of the windows, right? So get a good ceramic tint on all the windows to help with keeping heat out, which would be nice, on top of all the other insulation for the summer. Popped window to help with the ventilation at night, and then a resealed rear window so that I'm not getting water on the wood in the back, right? But now I got to deal with the fuel pump, you know? And it's irritating. It's irritating, because it's like I really want to make progress on these things. But I can't. Like I can't, because I didn't have Vanessa. And a repair that should have taken a week took almost a month, because my insurance lady was the most unresponsive insurance lady ever, right? It took 2 weeks to get approval for the repairs to begin, you know? And the mechanic was ready to go, like, I want to say 2 days after he got Vanessa. Like, he ordered the door, and then he found the fender later, right? But he needed approval from the insurance, and she was being so unresponsive that it felt like it was intentionally malicious. She wasn't responding to his calls. She wasn't responding to my calls. She was responding to emails, but that was it. And even then, that was the responses were they just lacked clarity as to what we actually needed to do to get things moving. So that was frustrating. So everything got pushed back. Everything that I had planned to do this year got pushed back at minimum a month. Like hands down, at least a month. Like I got work done on other things, right? Which was all right, you know, working on other things. I did what I could. Then last week I got sick out of nowhere, right? My voice is it's still a little hoarse. I don't know why. I like my sinuses and everything is fine now. But I can still hear it. It's a little hoarse. And when I laugh, I can't laugh quite the same way I did before. Like I can laugh, but it sounds like hollow air instead of like the high pitched squeal that I usually do. So then that took away a week, right? Because Monday and Tuesday I was out. Wednesday I was getting better. Thursday I was fine. And then Friday I lose my voice, like out of nowhere, which was last Friday, right? A week ago now. And then, you know, I finally see some good stuff, which is, you know, the mechanic tells me like, hey, we're getting Vanessa fixed. We've got the approval and everything. Like, all right, cool. That's nice. Pick up Vanessa, and then fuel pump goes out. So it's like, it's like I have every reason to be upset, and I have every reason to be frustrated, and to want to be mad, right? Um, and I acknowledge that, and I get that. And when I talk about it, I get a little worked up. It starts to come out like, yeah, there's this and there's that and this and that. But then at the same time, I'm just like, you know, like, 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 what else? What else can I do? Yeah, I can't do anything. I have to wait. Like, I have to wait. That is my only option, is wait. Right? And it's not like it's not like I'm blowing off all this time either, you know. I was still going to Mike's up until I got sick, right? Um, and then this last week, you know, I could have gone out. I was better, but I had things I needed to do the morning after. A lot of, like, my sister's tires got stolen, so I went with my dad and replaced her tires on Tuesday. Um, Wednesday was a pretty normal day. I feel like I did something on Wednesday though. I don't remember. I did something Monday and Tuesday morning, and then Wednesday night, I was like, I already didn't go out Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, so like, let's just call it a wash for Wednesday too. Get Vanessa back tomorrow, Thursday, and then get back to hitting Mike's. Um, right. But then at the same time, I think about it, and it's like, of all the times and all the places for Vanessa to have broken down, like, that was the best spot, honestly. Like, if she had broken down in the middle of the night, you know, would that have been better? I would have had to woke up my dad and everything. And instead, it was like right there at the bottom of the hill. I got to the top of that hill. I wasn't going to make it up to the top of that hill if the fuel pump went out any earlier, honestly. Like, I would not have gotten over that hill. Because the timing of me pressing the gas and everything, like, that fuel pump honestly went out at the perfect time. It went out at the perfect time. You know, any later, and I probably would have went further. And if I'd went past where I stopped off on the side of the road, the next exit after that would have been way further ahead than that first one. Like, my dad literally just told me, and it was an entryway onto the highway, and then the very next exit. So we literally just went straight onto a dedicated lane, and then right off the highway. It was as painless as it could possibly be in terms of getting off the highway. Only way it could have been better is if I had managed to get off the highway under my own power, right? But then if the fuel pump had gone any further, right, then I would have passed up that exit, and the next exit was definitely further ahead. And that would have been a little tedious because we would have had to go through more traffic, honestly. Because at that time of the day, there's a lot of traffic at that particular spot on 45 in North Main, or 45 South after North Main. And then, yeah, if the fuel pump had gone out earlier, I probably wouldn't have made it up that hill. In which case, my dad would have had to tow Vanessa up that hill, right? Which it probably could have been done, but again, it's a further path from that exit, and it's up a hill, and this is a heavy ass van, right? So would his car have been able to do it? I don't know. I really don't know. We would have found out though. So the fuel pump went out at the perfect time on the highway, honestly, all things considered. I mean, the better time would have been like right here at the house. I wouldn't have been able to drive off. That would have been better. Instead of like at night near some open mic, that could have been, that would have just been more annoying. So what I'm trying to say with all that is, I know I'm blessed, honestly. In spite of all this, and in spite of all the inconvenience, and in spite of the annoyance, and in spite of the fact that I have to continue to be patient, you know, like I'm still blessed. I really am. It's like this problem I have. It's not really a problem. It's a minor inconvenience at best. You know, like I like to think my family is gonna kick me out on the street, right? You know, and it's not like I'm laying around all day at home not doing anything, right? Like I'm gone. I'm gone a lot of the time because I'm working. I'm working on other things, and I'm still trying to build the thing that I want to build. And this is a setback, no doubt. Um, but I mean, at the same time, you know, I'm in Houston where I have family, so it's like running into mechanical issues here in Houston is not nearly as troublesome as running into a mechanical issue in a different city, right? So that's a blessing. I have family. I have a dad who's worked on vehicles before, right? And he's always repaired the stuff on cars and whatnot. So when I told him the issue, um, he's just like, it sounds like your fuel pump. And we checked it out, and he thinks it's the fuel pump. I think it's the fuel pump. I've done research online for like similar issues with similar symptoms, loss of power, loss of acceleration on the, like, while you're driving, just cuts out, struggles to stay on, fuel pump, fuel pump, fuel pump, fuel pump. Um, I need to do some more diagnostics, right? A fuse could be blown out, right? That's possible. I doubt it though, but I could just check it, check the power that goes to the fuel pump, see if it's actually getting power. If it is, then chances are my fuel pump is out, so, it sucks because I'm missing comedy. I'm missing mics. I want to be doing mics, but I can't make it out because I returned the rental. So now Vanessa's my vehicle, but she's not moving. So, oh well. What else can I do but wait? That's the biggest thing I've learned from living in a van. It's not being stronger. It's just learning to be more patient and just kind of letting life play out at the speed it's gonna play out, because that's just what's gonna happen. And there's nothing else I can do about it other than complain or accept it, right? I mean, that's a false dichotomy thing, or yeah, I forget what it is, but like false dichotomy illusion or something like that. Basically, like, philosophically speaking, you can lower yourself into thinking that there's only two options that exist as to how to approach a particular situation than what is actually readily available, right? Like yeah, I don't need to worry, and yeah, I can be patient, but there's also the option of I could sell Vanessa as she is right now and just say, screw all this, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just gonna buy a smaller car and get an apartment and just do it that way. Or I could also, get the problem fixed and then just sell Vanessa as she is, take that money and buy a newer van, right? And then build another van, build out another van, convert another van. And then that newer van won't have as many mechanical issues, so I don't run into this anymore. And I've thought about that, but no. I like Vanessa, honestly. And then that's the other thing. I do kind of like overcoming the problems as well, right? Like, it's not a showstopper, and building out another van is just it's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna take a lot of time because I already know how much time it took to build out Vanessa and to build out another van. Oh. I'd rather be patient and fix this issue and then run into the next one than build out another van. Oh my gosh. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But you know, all that to say, you know, there's other options available than just, you know, accept things and be patient or get frustrated, right? There's more than those two options. And I know that, but whatever. I don't know why I even brought that up. So that's me. That's where I'm at. We're at 35 minutes, 36 minutes. So if you're still watching this and you're thinking about living in a van, I say go for it. Honestly. Just understand if you buy an older van, if you buy an older vehicle, period, you're going to run into mechanical issues. And those mechanical issues are amplified by the fact that your vehicle is also your home. And if you're okay with learning mechanical stuff and you're okay and you're set up, also really important. If you have a living situation such that you can have your van sitting somewhere while you work on it and a place to live while you're working on it, then that's really good. But if you got no social support, ooh, it's a little hard. Like if you're on the road all the time, like if your plan is to travel a lot, like constantly, you really want a newer vehicle. You don't want to risk it with an older vehicle. Because if this were to occur, like while I was like, you know, while I'm in Colorado, you know, just as an example, I'm out in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, doing comedy for whatever reason, no social support, foreign city. I don't know where I can take it. I have nowhere to take it, right? That's the other thing. Nowhere to sleep, right? Like you can get these things like with an Airbnb or a hotel, and you can ship a van to a different place, or you can rent a truck and tow it back. I guess that's true. But man, you're spending a lot more money. You're spending a lot more money. So long term, I hope all the mechanical issues that I can run into in the next year or two here in Houston, I get them figured out. So that way I'm more okay with taking longer trips out. And then with AAA, so long as I stay in Texas, I can always get a tow from anywhere in Texas back to Houston, more or less. It's 100 miles, but I mean, you know, that's still a pretty good distance, right? I think, yeah, no, I think the distance between here and San Antonio is like 150, 160, something like that. It might even be 180. Then I think it's about the same to Dallas. So not the entire tow, but a good portion of it, at least. A good portion of it, you know? Or at least if I'm traveling between the two places, you know, whatever. I'll think about that. I'll get that figured out. So, yeah. If you want to live in a van, I say go for it. Just be prepared. Be prepared for a lot of obstacles, a lot of learning, coming to understand patience for yourself. And be ready for the inconvenience it brings to your life. And it doesn't even bring inconvenience to your life. It's just, it is your life. Everybody has inconveniences, but the inconveniences that you're going to face living in a van, you just got to accept that that's part of your life. And if you can't, well, then this isn't for you. It really isn't. So, all right. I'm done. Thank you, God, for getting me through everything. Shout out to Jesus. God bless to you too. Good luck. Like and subscribe if you like this. I don't know who watches this. And that's it. Have a good day. God bless.